Hey everybody, welcome to another daily dose of doom. And let's get right into this because I'm seeing a lot of seeds planted. And what really concerns me is that there are so many people buying into this story of December 2nd with this Saeed Farouk. Here's what they want to tell you happened: that A, he got into an argument at his job or his work party, Christmas party. He leaves. He comes back with his wife, shoots the place up, but before he came back to the party, he takes his hard drive, right? And he ditches it at the lake. Instead of keeping it with him and ditching the cell phones and the hard drive all at the same time. No, let's ditch the hard drive first, and we'll keep the cell phones to communicate. But with who? Right? This was an unplanned event where you get in an argument at your Christmas party and you come back and shoot them up. But they're stating, like, watch, the federal investigators are saying, well, in the phones, we found pictures of schools, right? We found a picture of a school and yada, so on and so forth, right? But yet, why didn't he take the pipe bombs with him? If he's going to take the hard drive, why would he leave the pipe bombs behind for the FBI to find? The only people that we have to rely on for the information that there was pipe bombs to begin with is the FBI. And yet, in the whole house, right, the FBI goes through all of their personal belongings in there, and they didn't come across a card that was misspelled that said, instead of saying revenue, it said something completely different. And that didn't raise a red flag that maybe they faked a card to get into somewhere or something like that. No. You know why? Because that's something that the FBI left behind. Just like they left behind the story that there were pipe bombs in that garage. It is a lie. But since they are lying, what kind of seeds are they planting? Well, they're telling you that there was a school in their cell phone, so they were planning a bigger event. Now, to throw more seeds into the story for everybody to buy into, just like they tell you that there was a chase with a black SUV and that, the wife was a big-time Bonnie and Clyde with their husband, right? That's what they want you to believe. Don't pay attention to that there were 3 witnesses so far that said that there were 3 white individuals and in a black SUV, and they were white, and they were tall, and they were athletic, right? Forget all that, right? They don't want you to hear all of that. But the newest seed, and listen, pay attention close, everybody. This is the seed that they're planting if you just open your mind and understand. This is being reported on all the big platforms: New York Times, New York Post, Wall Street Journal, all of them. All of them are planting about this guy right here. And it's not even coming really from Enrique Marquez, right? They're stating that Enrique Marquez, the friend of Saeed Farouk, has loose lips. In so saying that, they're saying that Saeed Farouk had loose lips. The problem is that, you know why a lot of people don't know where sleeper cells are, even the FBI, is because they don't tell a soul. They do not tell anybody where they are at. That's how come nobody knows that they're there or knows about them. But yet the FBI, when they create this seed story, they want you to believe that Saeed Farouk told Enrique Marquez, his good friend, that there are sleeper cells in the nation and that they're going to hit, and there's a lot of them. And when they do, well, it's going to be huge. Because according to a person who was at this bar that Enrique Marquez worked at, Nick Rodriguez, which if you look through Riverside and look in the phone book, you're going to see about 20,000 Rodriguezes. So just because you throw a name in the story, you've just made it all the more believable, right? Why don't you come up with a name like Hessen de Garaga? Say something like that where I could actually look it up, and then I might buy into your story, right? If I could contact him. And he goes, yeah, I said it because, I talked to Enrique Marquez myself, dude. Well, I'm telling you now, the only thing that we have is the seed that they're planting now, that there is going to be a huge attack. That's what they're saying. Nick Rodriguez says that Enrique Marquez told him he would say stuff like, there's so much going on. There's so many sleeper cells, so many people just waiting. When it happens, it's going to be big. Watch, what did I tell you all? What did I tell you? That the only way that you could get the military on board to come for the guns is if you create a huge, super huge false flag, and they feel that they have no other choice but to come for the guns. And they are planting the seed with a story just like this, to go along with the story of the San Bernardino shooting as it is, right? Here's what's interesting. He states that, Enrique Marquez would tell him, oh, I want to join the Navy. Why? You want to protect the country? Or did you want to join the military so that you could possibly attack some of your military men and women there? Right? Because that doesn't make sense that you want to join the Navy to protect the country, yet you're harboring information about cells, sleeper cells that are in the United States ready to attack it. But yet you want to join a military branch that is there to protect the country. Doesn't make a bit of sense to me. So I'm just telling you, the seeds are being planted, and they are planting them as they go along with this story. Mark my words. Something is going to happen. Is it going to involve those two Afghanis that ended up disappearing off of that military base and they have no clue as to where they're at? Is it going to be something else? We will have to wait and see. Everybody, again, I'm going to tell you that the seeds are being planted for something huge to come. They want you to believe that December 2nd shooting was based off of Saeed Farouk getting upset with somebody at this Christmas party, coming back and shooting it up, right? But yet he had bigger plans, grandiose plans of an attack against a school, right? But he blew all that to go and shoot up somebody he got angry at a party. He didn't wait for this person to come out of the party and take him out individually, right? And save the big project for later, right? Just like he took his hard drive from his computer, but left pipe bombs in the garage. Yeah, I'm buying this story. I'll buy it for $1. Sure, I'll buy it. But the seeds are being planted like I told you. Just like the only evidence that we have propane tanks are actually being stolen is from the media. The only way that we know that cell phones are being purchased in mass from Walmart, which Walmart happens to be closely tied with the Department of Homeland Security, is through the media, right? The media wants to tell you all of these things because the seeds have to be planted. Something big, is coming. But they need everybody out here in the nation. You can't just have one seed and then the whole nation doesn't know that it's coming, right? They plant seed after seed after seed. So when it hits, all of the eyes are off of the government and are on somebody else to being the culprit of a big, huge attack, when that huge attack will be coming from none other than right over there to the east, or depending on where you live, right over there in Washington, D.C. That's exactly where this next attack is going to be coming from. And, well, it's going to be hitting right here in the United States. Oh, and it's going to be big. I told you that the only way that you could get the military on board for doing anything about with the guns is going to require a huge event. And the only way that you can ensure that a huge event would go down when you don't know if there's sleeper cells here that are willing to do it or even ready to do it, well, that's how you get it to happen, is you do it yourself and blame it on them. That's how it's going to play out. Whoa. The latest New York Times poll shows that Americans now, for the first time in 20 years, oppose any kind of ban against assault weapons. Yeah, there's a lot of people wanting people to have assault weapons just so they can defend against, any kind of terrorist attack, right? Very interesting developments. A majority of Americans oppose an assault weapons ban, they state for the first time with this New York Times polling. According to NYU political scientist Patrick Egan, the opposition to such a ban is up 16% points from the number seen in 2011. This is one of the most blatant acts of a criminal activity by a cop that anyone is going to see. Even if there was a police chase and this guy flipped his vehicle and he is climbing out of the vehicle and he's got both hands firmly planted on the structure of the vehicle with nothing in his hands, and the cop walks up and blasts him. And this individual may be paralyzed for life. No reason to shoot him whatsoever, and you can see that in the footage right here. Saudi and Egyptian Marines captured an island held by Iran at the Red Sea choke point. In a pivotal breakthrough in the Yemen civil war Thursday, the naval forces of Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and the UAR took by storm from Yemen's Iran-backed Houthi rebels the Greater Hanish Island, which is part of the strategic archipelago commanding the Strait of Bab al-Mandeb. Down by Indio, Palm Desert, down around in that area. And it is in Riverside County, not too far away from San Bernardino County, where this has all been kicking off with the Saeed Farouk and all that from December 2nd. Police and fire officials are on scene, and according to Riverside County Fire Department spokeswoman, the blaze was reported about 12:09 p.m. at the Muslim place of worship. Officials on scene believe the structure was hit by an arsonist and was firebombed. A photo posted shows a group of people praying following the fire, but they don't say anything here about who may have thrown that firebomb. Since I took so much time with that opening, I'm going to just be really quick with these stories and give you just a brief rundown on all of the major stories. Air traffic controller tells cops, I smoke meth to stay awake. Well, that's the kind of people that you have, because they do work some pretty crazy hours. I know. I've already seen a lot of those stories back when Ronald Reagan had actually put a stop to the union the union blockage of work way back in the day. An air traffic controller who once bungled a flight carrying Michelle Obama has landed in trouble when he was caught driving on Long Island with illegal guns and crystal meth, and he turns out to be an air traffic controller, and that's what he had to say. You know, the headline is Rahm Emanuel is in deep, deep trouble. No, he's balls deep into... Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. Yeah. Well, Rahm Emanuel, Obama's butt buddy over in Chicago, they say he is in deep, deep trouble. Sure he is. I'm sorry for the shooting of Mr. McDonald, which happened on my watch, Emanuel told the full Chicago City Council. And they're claiming that there is going to be federal investigation into the whole police force. And, well, you know, Emanuel could be in deep doo-doo, right? Well, don't you believe it. Obama will find some way to get him out of it. It'll probably just wash this all under the carpet like they do all other federal investigations into police departments. And, well, of course, this mayor. Hey, take a look at these pics right here. Illegal aliens were busted in a cloned Border Patrol vehicle. They took a Chevy Tahoe and cloned it to look like a Border Patrol vehicle, and they were smuggling illegal aliens. And when they pulled this vehicle over, not knowing exactly who was driving this vehicle, well, as you can see the picture right here, they found it crowded, full of illegal aliens hiding inside. Regarding that landfill over in St. Louis County that we reported on that has the underground fire that's getting closer to that radioactive waste material that's been left behind over the past 60 years or more. And the Army Corps of Engineers are claiming that they have found more radioactive soil at the homes and businesses nearby in that St. Louis County. And the latest round of sampling detected radioactive soil at 3 homes and 4 businesses near Coldwater Creek. That's in addition to the contamination found this summer at 4 homes and the Ches Perre apartment complex near Palm Drive in Hazelwood. Earlier today, it was being reported that the Taliban had actually bombed the Spanish embassy in Kabul. Details on this story are still sketchy, but it appears the Taliban has bombed the embassy district in Kabul, causing several casualties in the Spanish embassy. Initial reports suggest the Spanish embassy was under attack by Spain's prime minister denied this. Here's an interesting story involving somebody with multiple cell phones. There is an individual who came from the United Arab Emirates back in 2013 on a school visa or academic visa. He was academically dismissed from that school, the Florida Institute of Technology, back in 2014, giving him 30 days to vacate the country, which he didn't do. Federal law enforcement agents claim that they stumbled upon him and arrested him, and he had been staying in a motel, the Florida Rialto or Hilton Rialto Hotel, 53 consecutive nights, where he would check in one day and check out the next day, and later on that night he would recheck back in. They found him with ammunition, 28 rounds in a box, and targets, but no weapons. They state that he had 10 cell phones, but 8 of them, he seemed to have pawned them for cash and had 2 cell phones left on him, and he refuses to answer to exactly why he had so many cell phones. And this individual, by the name of, if we can do this really good, Hamid Mohammed Ahmed Ali Rahef, and he is from the United Arab Emirates.